When you say, I'm a confused soul, a soul cannot be confused. You are a confused mind. Mind can only be confused. If somebody has a clear mind, he must be a fanatic. Do you understand? The nature of the mind is confusion. That's its beauty, it's always confused because it can't figure anything. But it can gather everything and mull over it endlessly. This is the nature of your logical mind. If you know how to organize your confusion, if you know how to handle your confusion, if you know how to increase the enormity of your confusion consciously, if you can handle your confusion consciously, mind is a very productive instrument. If you're looking for a mind which is not confused, you can go for a brain surgery. You can remove half of it, there'll be no confusion. Clear? The more intelligent you are, the more you will wonder, the more you will be confused about everything. The more profoundly you look at life, the more confused you will be. And it's good. Only somebody who doesn't look at anything, who's got a parallel vision, he is dead sure about everything. So you must either be an idiot or a fanatic to do that, and there's not much difference between the two. So now, your mind is confused. That is the nature of the mind. You have to learn to use the confusion to your benefit. If your mind is not confused, that means it's not constantly receiving. It is a blocked up mind. Your mind has become a concrete block which is dead sure about everything. Otherwise, constantly if you're perceiving more and more information, it is always confused because it is always receiving much more than it can ever process. So much information, everything that you see, if you see little more carefully, right in this room you can see so many things that you never thought possible in your life, do you understand? If you observe just one thing, it will happen like this. It is just that people are saying like this and they don't see anything. If they pay enough attention to any one thing, you will see a simple ant can keep your focus on for the rest of your life, it has so much in it. So everything around you, if you pay enough attention, there is so much information, no way can any mind ever process it. Only an unattentive mind thinks it knows everything. An attentive mind is always wondering and confused about every little thing in the universe. And that's the way it should be. You should not suffer your confusion. You must understand, if you're constantly confused, that means you have a functioning intelligence. The mind is receiving too many things from every direction all the time, endlessly, in wakefulness and sleep. The five senses are always perceiving endlessly. Most people are not alert to it, so their life becomes stagnant and boring. Confusion means there is still a possibility. Conclusion means it's death. So, don't try to conclude and take away the confusion. Confusion is fine. Right now, do not imagine things which are not true. Confusion is because never in the history of humanity anybody ever figured the nature of creation, nature of life in their mind. You can become life and know life. You can never figure life, just understand this. Never ever can you figure life out. But if you become an absolute piece of life, you will know life for what it is. So the only way to know life is to become one. Are you one? Are you life or no? You are. So become that. Right now you are not alive. You are a bundle of thoughts, emotions, ideas, opinions and prejudices. That is more dominant than the life in you, isn't it? Yes or no? Your thought and emotion is occupying more space than the aliveness that you are. So you're not experiencing yourself as a piece of life, you're experiencing yourself as a bundle of thought and emotion and whatever else. This is a wrong perception. Because you're alive, you may think. You understand? Not because you think that you exist. Because you're alive, you may think if you wish. But right now, the thought process has become so compulsive that people think that is more dominant or is predominant to life. It is not so. It does not… your thought does not exist before life. Because you're alive, you may think.
If I ask you to describe the human condition in 3 words, what would you say? The 3 words would be lost in mind or hypnotized by mind. Yes, that's what the human condition is. Humans are lost in thoughts, so lost that they have forgotten that there is a way to go beyond them. They are so hypnotized by thoughts that they take them to be the absolute reality. And you are also well aware of its result. The stress, the anxiety, the worry that you have are the result of nothing but your absolute trust in your thoughts. Just have a close look inside yourself and see how much power thoughts have over you. And this is the root of your suffering, identification with thoughts. Whenever any negative thoughts come in your mind, you immediately believe that and take that to be the absolute truth. What will happen? This is not a question that I asked. This is a disease that most of the humans on this planet are suffering from. And the cause of this disease is nothing but your thoughts. And the symptom is also very well known to you, to everyone. The symptom of the disease, what will happen is stress. These thoughts never allow you to stay in the present moment. They always take you away from it. But life is always unfolding in the present moment. But you are never here because of your thoughts. You always want to be somewhere else but not here. And this is what causes stress. You are here, but you want to be there. In this sort of condition, stress is inevitable. You cannot avoid it. Be where you are. Let me rephrase this statement, be where you are. Be where your body is. The physical form I am talking about. The body is always here, but your mind is never found here. It is always somewhere else. So take it as a spiritual practice, and it is a spiritual practice to bring the mind where the body is. Always in the now. Always in the present moment. If you can do so, you'll find that mind won't then play tricks on you. It won't then create problems in your life. In the present moment, there is never any problem. There will be challenges as they are part of life, but you won't find any problem in the present moment. And if you can stay present, you will have enough strength to deal with those challenges. You can never deal with the fictional problems, with the imaginary problems that your mind creates. It simply saps your energy. It simply saps your strength. That's why you feel so exhausted all the time. You are dealing with fictional problems in your mind. So exhaustion is inevitable. If you stay in the present moment, you will have enough strength to deal with what life throws at you. And the strength that I'm talking about here will be your own strength. It is always there, but you have lost touch with it by moving away from the present moment. The mind that creates problem in your life cannot exist in the present moment. It simply disappears. and then you are left alone in your own blessed company. And that's where all this strength comes from. It comes from the real you. As I told you, it is always there, but the mind covers it up. How can you ever lose yourself? You can only forget yourself, which is what has happened with the whole humanity. So try to stay in the present moment and feel your being in its full glory. You can discover yourself, you can find yourself only here, only now. That is why scriptures and spiritual masters lay so much emphasis on staying present. Dwelling in the present moment is the most powerful way to deal with the mind, or rather to deal a lethal blow to the mind. But the mind will always try to persuade you. The mind will always try to cajole you into moving away from it, saying, "Oh, what is there in this moment? You only have dishes to wash. You have the house to broom. But you have such serious problems in your life. How can you avoid them? How can you overlook them?" This is how the mind plays tricks and makes you resist or move away from the present moment. You have to be extremely conscious and aware about such tricks, and then only it will be possible for you to stay present and experience your divine, conscious, infinite nature.